Hello and welcome to today's NinjaTrader ecosystem event, how to evaluate and select an effective and suitable automated strategy system. My name is Patrick Hodges and I am a NinjaTrader ecosystem vendor relations representative. And before we get started here today, I do have a few housekeeping notes for everyone in the room. All right. Secondly, this webinar is presented by NinjaTrader LLC, which is the technology company responsible for developing and supporting the NinjaTrader trading software. Brokerage-related questions should be directed to the NinjaTrader brokerage using the phone number or email on screen. So if you are new to NinjaTrader, please make sure to sign up for a free NinjaTrader account, which includes access to 14 days of complimentary real-time market data. Our platform is always free for advanced charting, strategy backtesting, and trade simulation. You can create a free account by following the link on the screen and clicking the Get Started under the Welcome section. All right, now before I do turn the mic over to James, it's important to understand that futures, foreign currency, and options trading contain substantial risk, and it is not suitable for every investor. It is possible to lose all or more than your initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Also, please remember that these training sessions are not a solicitation or a recommendation, but simply educational in nature. Thanks again for all of you joining us here today. And without further ado, it's my pleasure to welcome to the NinjaTrader room, James.
Okay, great. Can everyone hear me? Just let me know if you can hear me and you can see my screen over here that says NinjaCo. This way, I'm not just talking to myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. All right. Yes, great. So this is a presentation for NinjaTrader. The company is NinjaCo that has created its first fully automated strategy. So first of all, before we even go there, where am I here? Okay, so this is me. My background is I am a retired New York City school supervisor, retired a number of years ago, always was fascinated by trading. Made some connections in a financial district. My school was on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. So I made some nice connections and was taught by some amazing people, made the transition to electronic trading, created my own Discord group a little over a year ago, where I provide buy and sell levels for 7 futures instruments. Then came across NinjaCo, which is and I was immediately impressed by this company. It has tremendous quality of products, 4.99 rating out of 5, 150 indicators, a whole bunch of downloads, over 30,000 customers. So very solid company, has been around for over 10 years. So I decided to partner up with them back in August of last year, and I've been promoting their products ever since. Now, what makes this product so special is the fact that this is their first fully automated product trading tool, and it's called IMT-REX. This is it. And we're going to be talking about it today. So before we even kind of jump into the nuts and bolts, what this product is all about, why choose automation at all? Why not simply trade manually? What's wrong with that? Well, I can tell you this. In fast-moving markets, and boy, today we had some fast-moving markets. if you traded any of the indices today, I think you know what I'm talking about. Very fast-moving markets. You cannot match the speed of execution of a machine. And if you are scalping, and I think most of us are scalpers, every tick makes a difference. So a machine can definitely beat a human any day when it comes to speed of execution, right? You sit there and let's say you see a signal or your setup. By the time this image travels to your brain, and your brain sends a message to your hand that trade left. So speed of execution, machine beats a human every time. So this is the first. But I think even more important is the second part, the discipline part. So we all carry baggage into trading. That's one thing I've learned. Well, first being a trader for over 15 years, but also lately working with a lot of traders. Um, we all do things such as, maybe you can relate, we move our stop away as the trade is moving against us, and we don't want to take a loss. We move the stop away. If we take a loss, we get frustrated, and then we break our rules. We make up rules on the fly. We think we see something that doesn't exist. So automation takes this out of your hands. Automation forces you, as long as, of course, you allow the program to trade, automation forces you to follow rules, because automation, the algorithm, is rule-based. That's all it does. It follows the rules. It doesn't matter if it took a loss or two losses or three losses. It's going to keep following the rules. These are the two main advantages of automation. Can you lose money trading with automation? Of course, like anything else. Yes, you could. But I'll tell you what, uh, I bet automation is going to lose less money than you could without it. Because the reason most traders lose money is not so much, because there is some kind of a trickery to trading. Most of it is emotional, um, and that it transfers itself into discipline. Automation takes this out of your hands. So these are the two main advantages to trading with automation: speed of execution, especially in fast-moving markets, and discipline. Now, oh no, that's me. We've done this already. Okay, so there are all kinds of automated strategies out there. So, how do we evaluate them? So obviously, some are, let's say, outcome based, right? So the idea is they try to show you a very, let's say, big winning rate. Um, but what if I told you that winning rate is really not the full picture? Because you could have a lower winning rate, but if you have a certain um, money management strategy, you can actually have only 50% winning rate or less, and still potentially come out on a winning side. So another thing that uh, some other automated strategies, they're just a bit too complicated, and the user doesn't really understand how the signals are generated. So one of the things that NinjaCo attempted to do here is to create a system without too many settings to be changed, because it found that if there are, especially when it comes to automation, too many settings, too many options, it gets so overwhelming that the user just sits there and it's like, okay, what do I do with this? So it created a system, and it called it IMTRX, because it's a creative name, um, that looked to address a specific need in trading. So what is this specific need? So um, let me kind of step back and just kind of ask you, most of the time, and you can answer that if you know, most of the time, is the market trending, or is it oscillating back and forth between, let's say, fixed points? Most of the time, is the market trending, or most of the time, is it oscillating between 2 points, back and forth? By the way, today was a bad example. today was a bad example. But yeah. Yeah, right. Most of the time, the market is only trending maybe about 20% of the time on an average day. Not today, boy, not today. But let me kind of show you this. So right here, this area here, right? This is an area where a market is oscillating between 2 points. This is not trending. This is not trending. It is oscillating back and forth. Now, here is the thing. Most of the time, a market is not trending. It just kind of moves back and forth between points. The problem is most indicators and most automated strategies are relying on the trend. Isn't it much easier to, I mean, you can take a look at almost any trending indicator from today. From today, let's say after 10 o'clock in the morning, Eastern, NASDAQ, YM, doesn't matter. And I'm sure they all did great. But what happens to the same indicators when market is doing this, which is actually most of the time? Most trending indicators will start breaking down. What NinjaTrader created was a strategy that takes advantage of a range. It works based on swings, pivots, and where is price in relation to those swings and pivots. So in this kind of a situation, it would look to buy these areas. It would look to sell these areas. Now, later on today, after the news, right, what happens? This happened today. Is this a trending or is this a range-bound market? I think if you traded for more than 5 minutes, you know this is a trending market. Would you apply these principles where you identify a range and then try to buy the bottom of it or sell the top of it? Would you, based on pivots and swings, would you try to do this here? Well, no, right? This is trending. This is not a market that has any kind of a range at this point. Now, and even worse later, this is no kind of range. This is straight down market. First, straight up, and then straight down. There is no range here. This is a trending market. But when you look, let's say, from the previous day, right, from the previous day, you see all this. This is an area where most trending indicators would fail. And what you have here is a range. And unfortunately, look, this is a NinjaTrader presentation. I'm not allowed to show any live results. If you go to NinjaTrader YouTube channel, you're going to see my live trading using a funded prop firm account where I trade numerous indicators, but especially T-Rex, fully automated strategy. At times where the T-Rex one, at times when there is no trend, like this. This is a time when there is no trend. Why am I saying all this? Okay. Why am I saying all this? Because this strategy relies on, this is example, I really want to show you this. So this strategy, again, relies on the market. It identifies a range. So this is where most trending indicators would not work. It identifies a range and then starts buying the bottoms and selling the tops. Not only that, the idea of this strategy is to your target, trying to target at least twice more, and actually NinjaTrader recommends 3 times more than you are risking. They have it as 3-to-1. When I trade it, it's 2-to-1. Target maybe 800, risking 400, or target 200, risking 100. The idea is you obviously will have stop outs. But because your target is at least twice your risk, overall, hypothetically, you are come out ahead as long as you can identify a market that is trending. I'm sorry, that is in a range. This system identifies a bottom and a top as long as what? As long as there is no this, right? After such a move, it will identify a bottom, but in the meantime, you don't want to be activating this kind of a strategy. Now, again, backtests results are not allowed in this webinar, but if you go to NinjaCo's website, you will see a two-year backtest result, and you can, judge that for yourself. So if we can now take a look at some live charts. So today I chose crude oil, and you can see here how my target is twice my risk. Crude oil tends to be directional when it first opens, like at 9 a.m. Eastern. Once it comes down, normally it begins to oscillate. By the way, indices, most of the time, for example, the NASDAQ, when it first opens, you probably don't want to activate this strategy. You want to wait till about 11 o'clock. That's when all of a sudden the market goes into a range and starts oscillating back and forth. So this is crude oil. This is the signal. Again, looking to make 800, risks 400. So this is a hypothetical example of a trade where the software identifies a pivot, identifies a swing a little early, but that's why you give it some room, and then hits the target. Now look, right, the following trade now on the short side does not work out because now it's a very strong market to the upside, and by 2 o'clock you no longer want to trade crude oil. So right here, like after this loss, you would stop. But when you take a look at what happens here, because of the 2-to-1 risk reward, a hypothetical $800 target is followed by a $400 loss. It's 1-and-1, but you still come out ahead. And what you find over time, and again, I cannot show back test results here, but what you find over time, and you have this kind of a ratio of 2-to-1, even if you just win 50% of your trades, and you can do the math, right? If you win 50% of your trades at 800 a pop, that's $4,000 minus 2,000 in losses. You still walk away with a $2,000 profit when you have just a 50%, and that's all you need, just a 50% winning rate. By the way, what if it's a 40% winning rate? So it's 40 times that, so that's 3,200. Take away 2,400, you walk away with $800. Now, of course, minus commissions, minus slippage. You gotta, that part of the package, right? You gotta take away commissions, you gotta take away slippage. The point is, if you have a strategy that can win even 40% of the time, even 40, and in my experience, the way I trade it, and I go over it in other videos that I make for NinjaCo. I actually get slightly better than 50%. Well, I think I can explain it here how. I get slightly better than 50% because I trade the indices with this after 11 a.m. Eastern. So after the first 90 minutes of trading, US session. Because then, for the most part, again, not today, today was not a good example, but for the most part, especially the NASDAQ, the S&P, they start to just go sideways between 11 and call it like 2:30, 3 o'clock p.m. They go nowhere. They just go sideways. And this strategy excels when markets begin to go sideways. Again, every signal, no, you're not going to have every signal be a winner. You don't need every signal to be a winner when you have money management of 2 to 1 reward to risk. Oops. Let's see. I still got like 9 minutes, right? So yeah, let's kind of quickly before I forget. So this is the deal, and they only allow 5 licenses for this deal. So the regular price is 10,000. They're dropping it for today for this presentation. There are 5 copies at 23.96, and then the next 10 copies for 25.96. After the first, so obviously after the first 15 then it goes up to this price. Now, uh, again, what separates this strategy from pretty much anything else out there is that it is a tool you would use when most of the time either people don't trade because they realize after a certain point in the day, the market does nothing. But when the market does nothing, quote, nothing, there are still opportunities uh, to get some some great trades going if you know how to identify those. So when your trend indicators are not doing well, that's when this strategy begins to excel. Um, it's again, it looks for the range based on swings, based on pivots, and then it generates signal, which then, of course, it takes automatically because it's a fully automated strategy. Um, and based on your money management, now, by the way, we can talk about that too. Again, I don't have too much time, but money management is it, for example, 800 and 400, right? Is it appropriate for every market? It might not be. It depends on a kind of range that you see a market has. For example, maybe when things are really slow and Nasdaq, especially like earlier this week, was really, really slow, really slow. So, maybe 800 is asking a bit much. Maybe you would set it at, as a matter of fact, I had it a couple of days ago when I did the NinjaTrader presentation using IMT Rex. I had it on a $200 profit, $100 stop. So it's up to you. It's up to you how small or large you want those targets to be. But it is important that your target is greater than your stop. That is important. Now, let's quickly talk about the settings. That's probably the most beautiful part about this. Let me just disable it here so we can see them better. Okay. There isn't too much to optimize. Everything is coded in. You can obviously optimize the target and the stop. You can optimize if you want a market order or if you want a limit order. So this you have control over. But other than that, there is not much here to optimize. So it just the way it comes is it's the way it works. And you don't have to because it does tend to be overwhelming. At times when you get this strategy and then there are 40,000 different things that you can change and you sit there and what do I do? This one already comes configured. You just again, the only thing you should change depending on the kind of market you trade and the volatility that's happening is the target and stop. But with something like this, I just strongly advise you definitely need a greater target than stop, at least a 2 to 1. Again, NinjaTrader actually recommends a 3 to 1. I trade it as 2 to 1. And again, on a NinjaTrader YouTube channel, you can see actually live trades using a prop firm funded account, and I show my rhythmic dashboard and all that good stuff. But here I cannot do that, so I'm not going to. But yeah, there was just not much to do here. You just set this up, um, you enable it, here, and then just a matter of, again, knowing, if I can bring, hold on, knowing, where is this chart? What kind of market you are dealing with. When you start seeing, this kind of deal, no, because there are no pivots here. It just keeps on going higher, right? And then you get this. Well, there are no pivots here. It just keeps on going lower. So you would stay away from, from this kind of market. But normally, and today again was not a normal day. Normally, and you know this if you trade the Nasdaq after 11 a.m. Eastern, very often you get this and you sit there and you say, but what do I do? And this strategy can help you with that. All right, I'm going to get to questions. Give me just 1 minute. I'm going to have a quick sip of water. Been talking a lot. And then I'm going to get to your questions. You can type them up in the chat. I'll be right with you.
All right. While we wait for James, just know you can use the chat function inside Zoom here. That's where you'll want to write out your questions. So feel free to do that while we wait for James here. If you can't locate the chat, once again, that's at the bottom of the Zoom window. If you hover your mouse at the bottom, you should see an option there for the chat.
Okay. All right. Getting to questions here. Okay, yes, prop firm accounts in general. So depending on the prop firm you are with, some of them have, well, I think the two most popular ones calculate their trailing drawdown from unrealized account high. So you really cannot be in a situation where you are up, say, $600, and all of a sudden the trade turns against you and you get out at break even, or even if you are down, right? Because now you draw down based off the unrealized account high. When you are going to pass an evaluation, it's a different story now. You must have small targets. So the target would be, for example, maybe $200, and you risk 100. You cannot go for $800, $1,000, because then if then price moves against you, and it's just not it's not suitable for that. So that's why, again, most of the people I deal with, of course, in my Discord group, are prop firm traders. They try to pass evaluations or grow their funded accounts. I always recommend smaller targets. Don't go for the big targets. Again, on the NinjaCo channel, my targets are small for that exact reason. Is that to pass those evaluations, you cannot be in a situation where you up a whole bunch of money, and all of a sudden you just, the market moves against you. So for sure, yes, to pass an evaluation, I would say a $200 target, $100 stop. So let's see this again. I think you need to make a purchase of T-Rex here. Just in case, get in touch with NinjaCo's support. Again, I don't want to tell you information that's not correct. Again, I'm just a guy who trades. I just trade their products. But it looks to me like you need to purchase the software for those products. Okay, well, my Discord, you can just go to where am I? You just go to my website, and there is a link there to the Discord channel. You just press join now. It will take you there. Let's go back to the software. As far as strategy analyzer, I myself did not use it. Again, let me want to give you a quick thing here. I trade only in real time. For myself, I never use any back testing. I never use strategy analyzer. I'm a trader. That's what I do. So when I get a tool, I look at it in real time. I take a couple of days and I look at it in real time. I don't even do like market replay. I simply put it on my chart and I look at it and I study it. Um, and that's how I began to come to conclusions what this software does, which is quite ingenious because I guess what NinjaCode tried to do is fill a need, right? That there are so many trending systems out there, but what about when things are not trending, right? And most of the time, the markets are not trending. Again, don't look at today as an example of what always happens. No, what happened today, I mean, take a look at the charts. What happens today was just a really volatile day. It was great, but it's not suitable for a software that is designed to identify pivots. Most of the time, though, between, again, after 11 a.m. Eastern, things tend to be very slow and range bound, and that's when this strategy shines. Let's see if there is anything else. All right. Well, I don't see anything else. Let me just kind of put this up again. If there was something I missed, you can always email me. I'll answer any questions. Again, I've worked with Ninjaco for a while. This is the first fully automated product, and I really think what they look to do is to fill a need, which I think they've done well doing that. So, yeah, I don't see any more questions that have to do with the product. No, okay. So Patrick, I don't see anything else. I think we're done here.
All right. Uh, looks like there's one question to us directly and the one in the room. Looks like they're looking for your website directly, and then the one to us.
Patrick, also, I don't see the question from Bruce. Can you read it to me? Somehow I don't see it.
Yeah, so it's saying when the strategy trends unexpectedly, does it stop its trade? Like, is there a stop loss? I assume. Like,
Oh
if it
no,
drops
yeah,
that trade.
no, yes. There is a stop loss in the strategy. Yes. So if price moves against you, and again you decide how many ticks you allow for the stop. Yes, it once it hits a stop loss, it stops, but it will continue to look for trades until you disconnect it. Yeah, so just keep that in mind. It will continue to look for trades like any automated strategy until you disconnect it. Yeah. Okay. So see if there's anything else. Okay. So my website again. Hold on. Let's find me here.
I'll just put it in the room. It looks like John, you were typing algo trader. You got to type algodaytrader.net.
Okay, that's me here. So this is my website. And again, I know I kind of encourage you guys to take a look at Ninjaco's YouTube channel. There are a lot of videos there of me trading, live. I just cannot show stuff here,
Yeah.
but I'm a bit more liberal over there, so you can see maybe more exciting stuff. But that's all right. Hey, we all have our rules. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right. Yes. So I want to thank you, everyone. If I missed anyone, just email me. Um, Otherwise, I want to thank you, and I hope to be here again soon.
All right. Yeah, so like James said, if there's any questions, please reach out to him. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to my screen now.
Mhm. Great.
James.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you, James, for taking the time to share that information with us here today. If you enjoyed today's session, we hope you'll join us for future webinars. Follow us on social media for alerts um, about upcoming events and other NinjaTrader ecosystem news. We'd like to remind everyone that this information provided here today was that of ninja.co and not of NinjaTrader. All information was for educational purposes and should not be considered or construed as trading advice. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we hope to see you in future webinars. Happy trading from all of us here at the NinjaTrader ecosystem.